Hi guys, it's Darren, and I'm here to talk to you about my KCON LA 2018 experience. It was my first time going, and honestly, going into it, I was really confused and had no idea what to expect, and I didn't really find any videos out there that helped. So I kind of just wanted to talk about everything that happened to me and that I experienced with it, and all the free stuff that I got. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is getting the tickets, because going into this, I had no idea what to expect. Literally, I didn't know there were so many K-pop stands um, in LA, but there's help. And I didn't realize that people come from like all over the country to this. Because, I guess I didn't think about that there's only two in America, and the whole America, too many K-pop stands. Anyways, tickets. So, if you've never bought concert tickets before, like I haven't, then you may not know that you have to get up early in advance to purchase those tickets. Because literally, I had no idea about like how the ticketing works with AXS. If you didn't know, so I'm based off in LA, and it's at the Staples Center. So I didn't know that they run through this like AXS thing, and I didn't really know how it worked. So essentially, what AXS does is that you log on at a certain time and you get ready to purchase your tickets. That doesn't necessarily mean that you get those tickets right away. You just get to wait in line for the tickets. And they'll let you in as soon as it opens. So for example, this one opened, I believe, at like 10 o'clock. So when I logged on at 9:30, I was already waiting in line, if that makes sense. And then they open the ticket sellers, and that will allow them to sell you the ticket. Another thing about the ticket sales is that you don't really get to pick your seats, because I noticed later when I went to the concert, there were some seats that were better than others. And there's no way that you can pick. You just pick based on what you can either what you can pay for or the best seats that they will provide you. Doesn't really mean anything. The best seats are usually the best in that section for that same price range. Another thing, but there's there's 5 different tiers. The diamond, platinum, which actually technically counts as one. There's P1 standing, P1 sitting, P2, and P3. So, yes, that's 5. So yeah, the P1 and diamond and platinum standing, they're basically like general admission. So you get in line at whatever time people start getting in line for that kind of stuff. I don't know. I did not buy that seat. And you just basically get to stand in the middle and watch the stage. P1 sitting is the next best seats. It's in the inner ring. To be honest, I think those would be the best seats to buy for this concert, just because it had such a great view and you got to sit and see the whole stage, whereas the people standing down at the bottom, even though they costed more, it's not necessarily the best seats, because sometimes the artist would walk back and forth and you can't really see the whole stage. Although there were people running back and forth during the concert. So the next is P2, which is even higher, and then of course last but not least P3, the one that we bought just because it was the cheapest price. It was only $100, I believe, for 2 days for one person. So I think that's pretty good. It's like $50 a night, and it's a pretty long show. It was like 3 hours long. Even though it was the best price, it was the worst seats of my life. There was this lighting. We were at the top of the top, and I think it's because we signed on too late that there weren't a lot of P3 tickets left, and it was the worst. There was this lighting fixture that was blocking the big screen, so we couldn't see what was going on the screen, and we couldn't see what was going on below because it was just so far away. I mean, we were literally section 318, row 12, literally the highest ring of that whole Staples Center, and it was just so funny. But it ended up being fine because we got to see the concert, and I got to see my idols, and yeah, I think it was a great concert. So the next thing we had was the convention ticket, which would be general wristband, general admission to the convention. It's 3 days, and it's only $30, which, to be honest, is a great price for what you're getting. There's when you go inside, there's so much free stuff, which I'm super excited to show you later. But yes, it's so worth it. And another thing that you can buy this year, apparently, KCON separated itself from doing the artist engagements with the concert tickets. So there were 3 artist engagements offered, which were the red carpet, high touches, and audiences. And they came in like separate packs. I wouldn't know, I didn't buy it. I was trying to pay the least amount for that. But you could also buy those on top of a convention ticket. And to be honest, I don't think it's really worth it, just because like, or at least I don't think the audience and the red carpet are worth it, which I will explain later. But I don't see why it costs so much. But I mean, apparently there were some people selling high touch tickets for up to $8,000 for twice. Then you don't really know which group you're gonna get when you buy the packs. It's like a mystery. Like they kind of reveal it when you go pick up your tickets, if that makes sense. So next I'm going to talk about the early check-in, or check-in in general, on how that process works. In case you didn't know, KCON is 3 days long. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But they do offer early check-in on Thursday, the day before the convention starts, obviously. And how that works is the early check-in offered for KCON LA 2018 was 1 to 5 on Thursday, and essentially you would have to wait in line and get your ticket. So how check-in works in general is that there is a line to get in, and you will go up to this booth and you will get, your ticket, your convention ticket. You'll get a swag bag with like a fan. It's a free tote bag, and you got some tattoos, and you also get a booklet about like the KCON kind of like playbill almost, what's going on during the convention, like the schedules, the meet and greets, all that. If you're Diamond and Platinum, there's a separate line for you, and it's super shorter and it's super quicker, and you get in without having to wait. Unfortunately, since I wasn't Diamond and Platinum once again, I had to wait through that line. But also, if you are Diamond and Platinum, I saw people getting like huge backpacks filled with stuff. I have no idea what's in them. I'm sure it's along the lines of like a t-shirt or like a bunch of free, samples from the company sponsoring them. But I don't know. I mean, if that's worth it to you, I don't think it's personally worth it to me, just because it was only my first year and I didn't know what to expect. So some tips I have for early check-in. Get there early. You're going to have to wait in line for about 3 to 4 hours anyways, so I would recommend getting there at 10 like I did. I figured I might as well go 3 to 4 hours earlier and just wait before, so that I didn't have to wait in line later. And it ended up being to my favor. So even though it started at 1, I got there at 10 and there was already kind of a line, but it was near the shade. So it was pretty chilling. But the rest of the line, as soon as people started rolling in at like 11, 12, 12:30, their line was super long and it was in the heat. And after the doors opened, it took me still like 40 minutes before I got my ticket, got my wristband, and got my bag and got out of there. So it's going to take a long time regardless, so I might as well go earlier and get the day done with, so I don't have to wait in line all day, which ended up being super worth it. And I'm going to show you guys what I got from there. So they gave me this little bag. It says KCON on it. I'm pretty sure they got this at KCON NY too, because it says it right there. But they give you the bag, and of course they give you your wristband. That's what it looks like. KCON LA 2018. It's a cinch wristband, and they do put it on for you, which was pretty unfortunate because my guy put it on super tight onto my wrist, and it ended up like really hurting me. So what I did was I just cut it in the back. I pulled the cinch completely off. I re-glued this using like rubber cement, and then I like somehow shoved this two little ends back through the cinch and made it super looser on myself so that eventually I could just like pull it off. So yeah, that's another hack for you. What the convention people told me when they were scanning me in is that they only really need the chip. So, I mean, the wristband, like, it doesn't even look tampered with when it's on, just because like the cut is behind the thing, but you know, if you needed to loosen it up, that's one of the tips. Also, another thing, if you have a lot of people in your party and they can't make it, like I did, my cousin couldn't make it, KCON lets you check them in and they'll give you their wristband and everything for them separate. So I also got my cousin's bag and I got his stuff too. Another thing they gave me was this fan with Ryan from Cacao Friends on it. They gave me a booklet like I was talking about, and it shows you like the schedules, a bunch of advertisements, and like the lineup inside. So yeah, Golden Child, Once Nine, all of that, and it shows all of that information that you might need for the convention. They give you some tattoos again from Cacao Friends. It's their sponsor. I think this one's called like A Peach, and that's Ryan. And also at this early check-in, you're able to purchase merchandise for the convention. So you can buy like the KCON t-shirt and the KCON hats and stuff like that, and a bunch of like plush dolls, I believe. But I didn't want to buy any of that stuff, to be honest, because it just like it comes with a year on it, and I don't like buying things with a year on it. But one thing I did buy was this light stick. It doesn't have a year on it. It was super lit. It was only $9, and I think it's pretty worth it. Just like, because during the convention, everyone has one. They're just like shaking it. During the concert, they're just shaking it to the music, and there's a couple of different modes. You can't really see it right now because it's like not light here. But I'll close this to see. You can kind of see how it changed colors in the dark. Pretty cool. Has 4 different modes. I think it was worth it. It was only $9, so. Okay, moving on. Oh, I almost forgot about one very important thing. During this early check-in, or check-in in general, this is when they give you your artist engagement packs. So if you do buy artist engagement tickets, it is in your favor to go to the early check-in so that you won't miss one potentially if you have one on Friday or even on Saturday or Sunday. It's really important to go to that early check-in so you can also get your engagement tickets. Also, another reason to go to that early check-in is to trade those early engagement tickets. Because as soon as I stepped out those doors, people were screaming at me, one-on-one high touch for twice high touch, like 17 high touch trade. People were trying to trade, people were trying to sell. It was chaos, and they were yelling at me. And I said I didn't even buy one. Like, fam, like, please back off. That's another thing about that early engagement, that early check-in. Some other tips I have for early check-in, again, is to bring a lot of sun protection. It's super hot and it's super sunny. So a lot of people behind me I saw were really suffering in the heat, and I just felt so bad for them. But I had bought this hat because I already knew that I don't like getting tan. So like this hat, you can see, just like covers my whole face. Something I didn't think to bring was an umbrella, which is smart because like you could just cover your whole self with the sun, which actually a lot of people did bring, but I didn't, so I didn't know. I brought a ton of sunblock and I just like kept reapplying. I even shared with the people in line with me. Yeah, and it's very important to stay protected in the sun. Also, to bring a blanket, because you don't want to have to sit on the hot asphalt in the sun, you know, without sitting at anything. Luckily, again, I went to the shade, so I didn't have to deal with it, but yeah, people had brought blankets. Some people had brought those little mini folding chairs that you can buy from Daiso, and things like that. And one final thing about early check-in is, since you are waiting in line for like 3 hours, you might as well talk to the people behind you, which is what I did because I went alone. And yeah, so I just make a lot of friends and be friendly. Be very open to talk to people behind you because, you know, it's all about making this experience fun for everyone and together. So yeah, I think that was really important. And moving on, KCON, the actual convention itself. So when you get to KCON, parking is terrible. There's no parking provided by the Staples Center or by the LA Convention Center where KCON is held. So you have to basically find parking in lots anywhere around you. The parking lots near the Staples Center are very expensive. They're like $20 for the whole day. There were some going for $15, $10. But I found one parking lot on Hope Street and 8th Street if you ever go to the Staples Center. And it's only $5 on the weekends, so that was super cheap, and the walk wasn't that bad. It took maybe like 7 minutes to walk there from where we parked, and it was great. Like, it was fine. Or I guess you could just Uber from wherever you are if you live in LA, or from your hotel even. So yes, that's another tip I have about parking. Another thing to note is about what to bring exactly and what not to bring. So one thing I decided to bring that I thought would be super helpful for me is a fanny pack that I kind of just slung over my shoulder like this. And I just kind of wore this the whole day. And the stuff that I brought inside of it was sunblock, a stick of sunblock, of course, and a charging cable. This is super important because your phone will run out of battery at some point during the day. I brought my wallet. I left my car keys in there, and I also brought a portable charger for this thing because that will run out before the concert, and you know, you don't want to have to like be like almost at the front with your ticket on your phone and then your phone dies, which happened to some girl and I felt so bad. And you can also bring, and another thing that you can also bring is water bottle. I brought my hydro flask, which I didn't know was going to be allowed, to be honest, because, you know, I didn't think like this huge metal device would be suspicious. But no, it's totally fine to bring it into the LA Convention Center. The security guards are super chill about it. It's because they know it's just water. But one thing to note is at the Staples Center, they do make you dump out the water before you go in, which I thought was pretty stupid. Because apparently it has to be sealed water bottles only. It can't even be partially open. So like, reusable water bottles won't cut it at the Staples Center. They have to be sealed. Yes, but for the convention, it's super fine to bring your own water bottle. Okay, finally we're getting into this. The line. The KCON line literally is super long, but it only takes like 15 minutes to get in because the security guards are super fast about it, and there's numerous checkpoints. But even so, if you don't want to wait in that, another tip that I have is to go into the Diamond and Platinum line. Even though it says Diamond and Platinum only, like, the security guards don't really, like, look at your wristband to tell about what color it is, to tell if you're Diamond or Platinum. So they'll just literally let you in if you just get in that line and act totally chill about it. After you get in, they'll scan your wristband with their little phones. There's these, like, convention checkers checking people, and you walk in and then you're good to go, and they don't check you ever again. So after you pass that first checkpoint, so like I said, there was a bunch of companies there giving out all of their free stuff and a bunch of like free samples, and I love free samples, so that's why I got a lot of stuff. First thing that I stopped at was the University of Utah campus, and they were talking about how they're like a school campus for University of Utah, but it's in Korea. And they were giving out this little thing. It's like they said it was a seat cushion for your concert seat. I didn't end up using it because I forgot it, but I'm sure it would have been really helpful because I did sit on it and it was pretty comfortable. Another note, a lot of these booths and conventions were giving you things if you sign up for them on email, sign up for them on Instagram, like their Facebook, subscribe to their YouTube, all that jazz, yeah. And if you're someone like me and you don't like to like necessarily post things about companies because it makes you look cheap in front of your friends, then you should make a Instagram account for things like this. So I have an Instagram account that's ready for doing things like that, you know, posting a picture with something, just because I don't want necessarily like everyone I know to see me at those things. Next thing I saw was Viki Pass, which is like this, I guess like this Korean streamer. There was this huge line for them for some reason, and I got in it, of course, because I'm a sheep and I follow the crowd. And literally, it was wrapping around the whole thing, back and forth, and it ended up being just like a game to win a tote bag, which I was like, okay. The next booth that I stopped at was for Innisfree and Maman and Laneige, because they were giving out a whole bunch of skincare stuff, and, you know, I really like to take care of my skin, despite everyone saying it's feminine. I'm not all about that toxic masculinity, so, you know, I'm taking care of my skin, so I love getting free stuff for skin. If you signed up for their email, they would give you a bag of goodies, like this, and I'll go over what's inside, but basically, all you had to do was type in your email and your first and last name, and they would just give you this bag. So obviously it was super easy, and I had to do it. Gave you a bunch of samples, like this intensive hydrating serum, youth enriched gel cream, pore clearing mask. I also give you a couple more samples like that. The Mamon sample they give you is hydrating beauty water. I'm not quite sure how to use it yet, but I will figure it out. And I'm sure it's going to be super good for my skin regardless, so I'm excited. From Laneige, they give you this water sleeping mask. It's in this little box, which I think is super cool. And since the convention was 3 days, you already know that I got in that line 3 times and got all their free stuff 3 times. So going along the lines with skincare, there was this whole section for like K-beauty stuff. I didn't really have much time to stop by there because I was busy occupied with other things, trying to win other stuff, and artist engagements and whatnot. But I did walk by one, and they gave me this like mask, a space mask, and I did look it up, and this thing cost $14. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the CJ Culture Complex section. Had a whole bunch of booths they were sponsoring, like Bibigo, Tout Le Jour, CGV Cinemas, and just a bunch of things like that. And if you stop by all of them and collect like this digital stamp, they will give you a prize at the end. So, and you get to pick a raffle ticket and get a prize. Basically how that worked was that you take your phone and your camera, which I didn't know, if you just open your camera onto something and you scan it on a QR code, their QR code, it'll open a link for you. Yeah, it takes you to this page, and as you can see, I collected all the stamps. I was trying to do it for the 3rd time on the last day, but they ended up running out of prizes. That's pretty cool. A hack for that, though, is if you have someone with you, take pictures of the QR codes, and then you won't have to go back to those booths every time. But the things I got from that CJ Culture Complex stuff was, I got this bag, first of all, from Tout Le Jour. They were giving out, like, cake samples, and they gave out this bag if you sign up for their email. There was Olive Young there, and they give you, if you take a picture in their booth, you get this, like, whole packet of skincare stuff. All you had to do was post a photo on their Instagram and hashtag them, which was super easy to do. Another part of the CJ Culture Complex thing was M-Wave. They had 4 booths, and you would get a sticker from each booth at M-Wave. So, for example, you would get one for voting for like best artist. You would get one for signing a T-shirt for idols, and you would also get one for doing a temporary tattoo, and you would also get one for taking a selfie and posting it. So obviously, I did all four days because I wanted to get as many raffle tickets as I could. One thing they were giving out was you get to meet and greet like an artist, which is super cool. You get to meet them. Also, second place prizes, which were signed albums, and there was one that was a signed Polaroid from a bunch of various members of different groups. I actually won one of the raffles, which is why it's super important to do raffles, because I won 2 in one day. Not from Mnet, but I won from another booth. But I won a autographed copy of Jin Young from 101. And I thought that was pretty cool. It's like a real Polaroid from Fujifilm, so yeah. And it was sealed in this little bag. And once you completed the little sticker sheet, digital sticker sheet, you could go pick a prize. I won an inflatable. Came in this little box. Give you like one of these drink cups for like a pool, and it just like floats in the water, and it's from like a legit company. It's Big Mouth. That's one of the more known, floaty companies, and I got a cherry. And the second prize they gave out, which I won on the second day, which was this microphone. Sorry, I just got it wet from that LaCroix. I'm gonna try to turn it on.
전원이 켜졌습니다.
Yeah, it's in Korean, of course. And so yeah, this is what they give you for winning that prize. Moving on, I went to the Product 101 booth. You took a picture and shared it on their Instagram, or you just do random tasks and challenges they had. They would give you a raffle ticket. And I actually ended up winning one of them. And I got this, like, pretzel making kit, which was pretty random, but it's Korean, and you get to make your own, like, pretzels and stuff. And I looked it up, and it was, like, $30. the guy who's the MC, he really likes hosting like dance contests or like question and answer contests. So yeah, he'll give you a bunch of prizes. So I won this. Basically, it's a whipping cleanser, and but it makes stuff. So I'll show you. So like yeah, I'm just like squirting it on, and it's like super fluffy and just like you can make things out of it, and just like look like, and it's like almost like snow. I did look this up as well, and it was like $22 on Amazon. So I think that's pretty worth it. On the last day, Product 101 was giving out almost like all of their stuff because they're just trying to get rid of it. And a lot of booths will do this. So if you're wondering about whether or not to go on the last day because you don't know if there's anything going on, go on the last day. Because that's when all these companies will give out their free stuff. And from Product 101, I got this box, which the guy said was a toothbrush. Yes, it's super fancy and bougie for a toothbrush. Epical toothbrush, and it's basically like a toothbrush stand, like you can stand it up, and when you pull this off, it's the toothbrush. And this one was worth like almost like $30. So moving on, there was a booth at KCON World where in this KCON World section, essentially this is where KCON was selling their merchandise. They were giving out artist engagement tickets for doing random stuff. And one of the games was to post a photo. I'll just show you how it works. It was to post a photo on your Instagram and hashtag it. And I just literally reused the same photos 4 times in just like a bunch of different posts so I could get as many chances as possible. And the game is, if you do that, you get a chance to pull out a chip, like a poker chip from a bag. And if it's a red one, you get to win an album. And I literally tried like 3 times each day, and it was so hard. Like it's hard to pull out. But I did pull out one out on the last day, and I got a red chip, and I got this signed album from In Fact, and they performed, and they were super good. So I'm really super excited to get this. Other things she was giving out were like audiences, high touches, and red carpet tickets for the events. I also got 2 audience tickets to 17, and we ended up going to that, and it was pretty cool. And I'll talk about that later though. I got it from them. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the artist engagements and how those work. So like I said earlier, the girl at the KCON World booth was giving out like tickets to go see 17 in the audience for anyone who posted, because it was literally like 30 minutes before they were about to go up. And so I went up there with me and my friend, and we both got to go get the 17 audience tickets for free without having to pay for it. And basically once you go in, it's inside of Concourse Hall is what it's called, Convention Center. There's a section for the people in the front, which have the high touch tickets, and the people in the back, which are the audience. So what will happen is the MC will call up the members, and they'll ask questions and play games and do a bunch of random stuff. Like they did random play dance for 17. I was near the back side, which is the audience side, and then the high touch side. So yes, basically there's 2 sides, the front and the back. And all the audience people get in the back. And people would literally wait in line for like 2 to 3 hours to get into the front of the back of the line, if that makes sense. So like after like 30 minutes, I was kind of over it, and it was just getting way too loud, so I left. And because I wanted to go see Pentagon as well. Moving on to other artists that I got to see up close. A lot of the times at, KCON, there will be people lining up for some reason, and you don't really know why, so you just got to go up and ask. And so they were setting up barricades for this one event near the Cacao Friends booth. Like, so I get up to the barricades, and there's only like 1 person there at that point, and I was like, who's coming here? And they said Twice. And so Twice was coming in like 45 minutes. So I literally waited 45 minutes at those barricades just to see Twice walk by. And we were so close. It was literally arm's distance away. And like I have a video with them, and I have a video of them. So yes, I'll be sure to include that in this clip now. Yeah, yeah, as you can see, we were super close to them, and it was a little crazy. Also, I got to see at the Mnet booth, I got to see Pentagon, which is who I went to go see after 17. And there was like a couple people in front of me. They were lined up. I just got behind them, and I was like, "What are you here to see?" And they said Pentagon, so I was like, "Okay, like I'm gonna watch them." And they were coming in like 35 minutes, I want to say. But when they got there, they were doing like this selfie music video challenge, and they were singing their song "Shine," and they were like filming the audience with their phones. And in like a couple of their videos. I was in Yusuk's video, and I was in Hui's video. I'm gonna show you a clip of that right here. Nobody knows. Nobody's like you. It was just super cool to be in that and have that. And they were also giving out like signed albums to some fans in the audience. Literally just whatever arm's distance. I didn't get one, but there was one girl next to me who got one. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Also, one of the girls at the Pentagon station had a ticket to go see Fromis 9 and meet and greet them and like kind of and do a pinky promise with them. That she couldn't make because she wanted to wait in line for Pentagon. But I was like, okay, I can take it. And she gave it to me. So it's basically this little postcard that she got somehow. I don't really know. But you get to go up there and see Fromis 9. They're from Idol School, if you didn't know. And they literally do like a pinky promise with you. So it's like this. And they did that with each one of them. And you go down the line. And the security guards would like shove you along and stuff. And it's just like super crazy. But it was so cool. Like, I just got to meet like idols for free, so yeah. And last but not least, Toyota. Toyota was giving out some envelopes for doing their little ride and drive, test driving their cars. What ended up giving out was, if you do their test drive, they were giving out red carpet tickets. So I did it twice. I did it 3 times on Saturday, and then they only let me do it once on Sunday because they were like, you were only supposed to be able to do it once. I was like, oops, oh well. And I got one for my Saturday one, and I got one for a couple friends on Saturday, but then I only got it for myself on Sunday. So it says Sunday Toyota, and that's Saturday Toyota. And these red carpet tickets are literally better than the ones people pay for because the Toyota section is super close to the red carpet. So I got to see on both the nights, I got to see all the stars come up. I got to see 17, Pentagon twice, Newest W, Dreamcatcher, who else was there? Davichi, just like literally the whole lineup for both nights because I went twice. And so yeah, the artist engagements were super cool. I didn't pay for a single one of them, which I thought was pretty lit. I was super lucky this KCON for some reason. It's my first time, beginner's luck maybe. Okay, next I want to talk about the concert and that experience and how that works. So basically, after the convention ends, which was at 5 o'clock, I believe, I did the red carpet, which took 5:20 to 5:55 or something. And so I was out at 6, and then I rushed over to the food street where that was to grab a quick bite to eat with my cousin and my friends to just like eat like a hot dog or something. And then there's this huge line wrapping around the Staples Center. On the first day, it only took us like the first day it took us like 30 minutes to get in. The second day it took us 45 minutes to get in because we went to the stupid line and the security guard was terrible. Yes. So they made me dump out my water bottle, which I was really confused about and cut him out. And then you get in there at I got in there at 7, and the concert starts at 7:30. So it was pretty nice. I got a little bit of a break to go to the bathroom, prepare myself, sit in my seat, and enjoy the pre-show, which there was a pre-show. Anyways, the security check-in works like this. You go in line, and they do the security check-in. And for me, I have the tickets on my phone. So it's literally on this app called Access, and you can click on your ticket, open it, and then she'll scan it for you, and it prints out these tickets. And these tickets will let the usher know where you're gonna sit. So we sat at the very top of the whole Staples Center, in the very worst seats possible because we were trying to save money. But yeah, it ended up being a super great concert, 3 hours long, 7:30 to 10:30. Overall, like, KCON is a great experience. I ended up like not paying that much money for a really good time and a bunch of free stuff that I think I got my money's worth back on. I got to see the idols I wanted to see. I got to hear the songs I wanted to hear, and the concert was amazing. The first experience was awesome. Like, as you can see, I forgot. It's like I'm a free stuff hoarder. Like, if you're ever thinking about going to KCON, I hope this video helps you, and I hope that you make the decision to go. And please like this video or share it to help support the fam and get my message out there, because I really know that a lot of people will be confused about their first time. Thank you.